Great day for golf, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great day, and let's go out and play and see how the course is at.
Should we hit the first tee now?
Let's go now.
Okay, let's go, mate.
It's a challenging one straight away.
Yeah.
With out of bounds on the left.
So, Patrick, what's this first hole all about? Par 4, is it?
It's a par 4. You have to stay a bit on the right side, then you're pretty safe.
Okay, let's see how we go, eh?
Let's challenge.
The journey begins.
The journey begins.
It's a very good connection. A bit left.
Yeah. There it is. I've been here for 2 years, and they already gave me so much, and probably the best years in my football career, and not only by winning things, but also by achieving things with the Central Coast Mariners and achieving things in life with the community, and that probably makes me more a proud person than winning a cup at Utrecht or becoming third and reaching the Champions League with Breda.
Oh, that looks like a really nice shot coming off the breeze.
That's a good shot. I'd say it's the last year, so if you want to see me play, I reckon come to the stadiums and support me as well as the Central Coast Mariners and the A-League, and don't wait too long, because it's not going to be around as a player much longer, I think.
Oh! One bumped into the other.
I like to be in the coaching system, the coaching deals, and that's where I am trying to progress myself in doing the badges, the final badges I have to do, and I'm pretty critical of myself, and at once it's enough, it's enough. It's not about Patrick Schreiber being on the Central Coast as a player, it's like Patrick Schreiber being on the Central Coast and let other players pick up the Central Coast and try to bring it to a better side. Last year we went back to Holland for 5 weeks, and I had 2-3 days off because you have to meet up with everybody else, and it's all good parts, all good things and fun things, but it's such a busy life then. And we arrived back in Sydney, and my wife said it before me. She said, "Oh, this feels like coming home."
Mm.
And then we took the way to Central Coast, and we ended up at our place, and it's just so beautiful. The area, the people are friendly, and the neighborhood. It's all coming together. It's like this is the place where we're probably going to end up and spend the rest of our lives.
It's not an easy course, is it? Cool.
The Matildas' impressive 18-year unbeaten record remains intact after Thea Slatier's dramatic equaliser, unbeaten record against New Zealand, that is. That equaliser came in the 3rd minute of added time, and Thea now joins us on the World Game along with teammate Sarah Walsh, who are the replacements for David Zdulic, who'll join us back, rejoin us in the next segment. Now, Thea, you love a big finish, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I left it right to the last minute, you know. Yeah, that was on purpose. But no, it was, you know, we were under a lot of pressure for a lot of the first and second half, and you know, we just hung in there, and you know, I saw the clock, and with 90 minutes already on the clock, I knew we only had a matter of 60 seconds or so left, and yeah, it was just a huge relief to see the ball go on the back of the net.
Sarah, what did you think?
I was sitting on the bench at that time with Claire Polkinghorn, and a lot of the girls I don't think really realised the severity of the match. I've been around for about 8 years now, and we've never lost to New Zealand, so it wasn't just a friendly. And I was thinking, I'm going to be in that team that lost to New Zealand. And then she scored, and we were just up, and yeah, it was brilliant. So kind of felt a little bit like a win with the young team we had.
And what about you had a young team. I know you had 3 debutants guys, and 2 came on, as well as substitutes. Young players that seem to be coming through the W League now. Tell us about their quality and about this sort of how the team is evolving now.
I think it's a testament to the W League that we have at the moment. We had 3 debutants that started, so we had Steph Catley, Ash Brown, and Alana Kennedy. And actually, our best player on the day was Steph Catley, our left back. She was amazing.
Great.
Stepped right up for us. I mean, nothing really got in behind her, and she was great getting down for the attack as well, which was brilliant for us. So. Like I said, the W League, without it, we wouldn't have been able to find these players.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that in a moment, but what about the Matildas? You've been pretty inactive lately, not much tournament play. What's next for you, Thea?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 9 months since our last international, so we are in a bit of a rebuilding stage at the moment. We have a fair few players overseas, and so it's a good chance for those young players to come through and really make their mark. And so now we've got another game against New Zealand on Wednesday, and we've got a friendly against Japan coming up very shortly as well.
It's a long time between drinks. Must be hard to pick up and after such a lull and get right into it. Sarah?
It is. I mean, the girls have still been training, and in saying that, there's only, I guess, a handful of girls here that haven't been involved in overseas competitions. So we have a lot of girls overseas at the moment in Sweden, Denmark, the US, playing, I guess, fully professional. So that's a great thing for us. But in the same breath, when we don't have them for these friendlies, we're able to, collect these youngsters and they're able to step up, which it's been brilliant for us. I think we're in a stage of the unknown at the moment, and they really impressed us the other day.
Well, it's good to hear that W League has had a really strong effect on that. What about the guys overseas now? I know that Kaya Simon in Boston and Tamika Butt in particular have been in fantastic form over there. What about the rest? Are they performing well?
Yeah, we're hearing good reports from overseas. I think all the, especially the girls in America, they're doing really well, and the clubs are really happy with them at the moment. Yeah.
And what about the evolution of the team then? I mean, you guys, you say 8 years. How has the style of play changed over that time? I mean, Thea, you being playing at the back there would be, I guess, the best example. Has it changed at all in terms of your role and your responsibility, particularly when we have the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I first came into the team in 2002, we were predominantly a very, very defensive team, and although we played similarly the other night in that fashion, but it's now in the last few years we've got so many exciting, aggressive strikers coming through, and we've got that strength in the midfield, and now we're threatening some of the best teams in the world. So. It's a really exciting time, I think, in football.
Speaking of best teams in the world, your next game is going to be against Japan. Now, Sarah, you told us last time I asked you about the last game against Japan, in which you said that you hardly saw the ball. Since then, they've won the World Cup, so that's going to be a tough one.
Oh, look, it's always a tough one. I think the crazy thing about Japan, they've always been great and held a lot of possession. I don't think there's a time I've played Japan and not had less than 50% possession. But now they're actually doing something with that possession. They're going forward and scoring goals. So it's always a dangerous thing. But I think it's about us, the old playing to your strengths. I know it's a cliche, but if we start trying to play real football out of the back, I don't think we're there yet. It's something we're trying to progress there.
We did see I saw the W League Grand Final, which was fantastic, and Canberra do play good stuff. I know that you guys Sydney FC was also in the mix at the end, but what Canberra did was very, very impressive and very modern, don't you think, Thea?
Oh, absolutely. I think Canberra have really been the benchmark for the W League as well, and the results just showed that in the Grand Final. But their cohesiveness and their ability to finish and play the ball at speed, and it's pretty exciting and an impressive thing to watch.
Now the W League kicks off when, Sarah? October, is it?
It hasn't actually been announced yet, but yeah, it should be roughly around then. Yeah.
And it runs still for...
It should run for about 3 months. I'm not
weeks.
sure of the exact games, but yeah.
So it's the same format. How's your team shaping up for this new season?
To be honest, we're actually we're not really with the teams at the moment, so they only run for, I guess, 5 months of the year. Or that's
So you're not-
Sydney anyway.
a long way
so
from the
a long way
preparation
from that.
stage.
Yeah, but I think the teams are starting to get together. They're starting to build up, the coaching staff, and I guess then after that comes the players. It'll be interesting to see the Western Sydney team as well. So.
Well, it's always great to see you. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you again. See you again next time.
Excellent. Thanks, Les.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks, ladies. Stick around for a moment as we check in on the word from the fans. Mariana is back with tonight's view. Mariana, what's on the minds of the fans tonight?
Well, Les, as usual, there's been a lot of activity, but let's start with our poll, which this week, of course, asks who you think will be crowned European champion next weekend. And pre-tournament favourites Germany are still favoured by the World Game viewers to lift that trophy in Kiev. And on to a few of your online comments, starting with the unveiling of the Wanderers. Adam via the website writes, "Finally, so glad they listened to the community. Anything other than the Wanderers would have been a slap in the face to the concept of those forums." Aaron James Hannah adds via Facebook, "I was a Sydney FC fan until today. Let's go West Sydney." After Italy's dramatic victory over England overnight, Campbell Grace has tweeted, "Is Pirlo the most influential player in the world? Controlled the whole match and reminded England who was boss with that chip." And one for our guests tonight, Shell asks via Twitter, what do Sarah and Thea consider the primary weaknesses and strengths of the current Matildas squad? So ladies, over to you with that one. What do you consider the primary strengths and weaknesses of the current squad?
Yeah, I would say the weaknesses at the moment would be, obviously we have players overseas and we are in that development stage, I think, being after a World Cup year and not making the Olympics. So we're building on that at the moment. So I would say that would be our weakness. Our strengths would be these new players coming through, and I think the amount of depth that has increased in the national team, and being able to put on a team that can still perform, and having so many players missing, so many senior players missing, is an attribute to the team. So.
Do you agree?
Sarah, you agree?
Yeah, I do. I think one of the strengths that I wanted to touch on is that we have so many players playing overseas now, and the likes of Kai Simon, who's actually top goal scorer, which I'd like to mention over in the US at the moment. So to be able to have those players over there playing against the best defenders in the world can really only have us grow as a team.
All right, Mariana, thank you for that, and thank you again, Sarah and Thea, for
guys.
coming in today.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. We're off to another break shortly, but first, a quick reminder about a special documentary this Sunday, which follows Australia's Indigenous female players, Kaya Simon and Lydia Williams, at the FIFA Women's World Cup in Germany last year. Well worth a look. After the break, we turn the focus to Poland-Ukraine and the final stages of Euro 2012.
Coutinho, it's a terrific ball in, it's a fantastic goal as well, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Portugal who have made it through to the semi-finals. It's Samaras! 3-0! Oh, it's a fantastic goal, brilliantly timed in goal by Sami Khedira. Close up! Marco Reus. Germany now heading for Warsaw. Looking for the ball over, it's Silva with a header! Xabi Alonso opens the scoring. It's Spain in the semi-finals without any doubts.
Oh, the save is made. Consecutive misses from Ashley Young and Ashley Cole. It's Diamante.